Hello, ladies. My name is Marilyn, and I'm here to help you learn English. And the first lesson we're going to work on how to make an introduction and simple greetings about different times of day. So the first thing I would say is, my name is Marilyn. How about if you try that? Of course, you should put your own name in. I'll say it again. My name is Marilyn. Your name is... and I'm sure you inserted your own name. The next thing you might say in a simple greeting is, how do you do? So you speak to people about how they are feeling, and you say, how do you do? And the answer is usually something very simple like fine, very good, thank you. But as you have more friends that are closer, you might speak about particular feelings. We'll get more into those in another lesson. So you say, how do you do? And you can say simply, fine. You can even say, not good. Or you could say, I'm okay. So that's another simple way that when you first meet people, introduce yourself, speak to them about how they feel. They might ask you like this, I am good. How are you? And the idea is that you would speak back to them. How do you do? I am good. How do you do? Well, I've been a little sick, but today I feel like it's a wonderful day and I feel much better. And that is how you would talk to people when you introduce yourself. You might say, besides your name, how do you do? And some other things you might think about is the time of day. There are times of day that we say different words. For instance, good morning. That is the time of day, usually until about 10 a.m. So you could say that from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Good morning. Why don't you try it? Good. All right, we'll try that again. Good morning. And remember, that's the time from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now, after that, you might say, good afternoon. And actually, that's about noon to about 5. So good afternoon comes next. First, good morning. Let's say it's from 6 a.m. to 12 o'clock noon, or what we call here lunchtime. When people in the United States say lunchtime, they mean 12 o'clock noon. I know that in other cultures, people say lunchtime, and it can be anywhere between 12 and 2. In this country, after lunchtime, we say good afternoon. And basically, it comes from the 12 o'clock limit, which is what we call noon. So after the noon, or after 12 o'clock, we get into what is known as, what was I saying? We get into the afternoon. So try saying that. Good afternoon. Try it again. Good afternoon. So far, let's see. We talked about good morning, good afternoon, and what comes next. After that, after about 5 o'clock, we say good evening. And when you are talking to others and it's about the end of the day, maybe you're at work and you're going home, you say good evening. And there you have greetings and introductions. It's some simple English. Let's go back over what we learned. First, we learned to say, my name is. Usually that's preceded by hello, hello. My name is. My name is. How do you do? How do you do? In between that, you would say, how do you do? I am. Talk about how you feel, or don't talk about it. In this country, we tell people fine even when we're not. And fine would mean good, everything's okay, no problems, but we still say it if there is a problem, depending on the closeness of the other person. If it's a very close friend, you might say, oh, I was up all night. I had a terrible headache and a stomach ache, but finally I fell back to sleep. I still feel a little bit woozy today. Or you might say, I feel great. I have no stomach ache or headache like I had the other day. I feel great. But that's a closer friend. All right, and then we talked about in the afternoon, you might say, good afternoon. So good morning, good afternoon, and that could be after lunchtime into, let's say maybe if you're at work, the end of work or the 5 o'clock time, you could say good afternoon. Then the next thing we talked about was, what would you say after that? More or less after work, after 5 o'clock time, you would say good evening. I hope this helped you. Play the video again and pause it as you practice the words you want to learn. The main thing is that you understand what you're saying and the person you're speaking with understands you as well. So thank you for being here. That's Marilyn, teaching English.